Good morning, my brothers and sisters. We're going to ask today, what should I do with the greatness of God? So we have a great God. His greatness is unsearchable. We talked about that yesterday. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. And his greatness is unsearchable. That's from Psalm 145 and verse number 3. Now remember, unsearchable doesn't mean that we don't search. Unsearchable means that when we're done with our search, there's still more greatness to find. So this is not a do not search warning sign. This is a do search. It's an invitation. So hey, how'd you like to get after the depth and the riches and the greatness of God? You are supposed to be seeking the greatness. You're called to the search and then account for it, assess it, kind of tabulate it. And then when you've done this spiritual forensic accounting, we're supposed to do something with it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So when I have searched and accounted and thought about the greatness of God, what should I do with this? What should I do with the greatness of God? Psalm 145, I'm going to start in verse number 4. I just read verse 3 for you. One generation shall commend your works to another and declare your mighty acts. On the glorious splendor of your majesty and on your wondrous works I will meditate. They shall speak of the might of your awesome deeds, and I will declare your greatness. They shall pour forth the fame of your abundant goodness and shall sing aloud of your righteousness. So what should I do with the greatness of God? 3 thoughts here today. Number 1 is speak to yourself about it, about the greatness, about this unsearchable greatness. Sit with God about it, meditate on it, occupy yourself with it for a while, and be alone with God's greatness. But then don't stop there. Secondly, is to speak to other humans, commend them to another. Communicate these things about God to other humans. Hey, I found this great God, a really greatness. His greatness is unsearchable. I want to describe for you the caliber of his greatness. So the greatness that God gives to us is not just for our own personal consumption. It's like a delicious wine or something that's best shared, a shared life, shared fellowship, shared service. So first is to speak to yourself. Second is to speak to other humans. The third one is to speak to God about it. So there is a proper response when the light bulb of unsearchable greatness goes on, which is to worship. Pour forth the fame of God, says this particular psalm. Sing aloud of your righteousness. Verse 10, which we're going to get to here, all your saints shall bless you. So he will pause here and go back as for the declaration of who God is unsearchably great. So we should speak with ourselves first, speak with other humans, and then speak to God about it. So David here is now going to go back to the characteristics of God and the character of God in verse 8. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love. The Lord is good to all. His mercy is over all that he has made. He's going all the way back to a quote from Exodus. So this is a mention of the essential, or at least one of the essential elements of God that we are 100% dependent upon, his hesed, his faithfulness when we were not and when we are not. It's his commitment to his promise when we falter in our commitment to our promise. And then he's described as slow to anger, which means if we could fly over at 40,000 feet and see man's interaction and rebellion and sin and the way he lives and his prayer and his generosity and his service and his fellowship, we would all very rationally conclude, hey, God should be a lot more angry with mankind than he is, at least for now. What we disproportionately see is God's graciousness, his mercy, his slowness to anger, his abounding covenantal love, his goodness, his faithfulness to his creation. Verse 13, just to come, declares, the Lord is faithful in all his words and kind in all his works. So we're going to come back to the kindness of God. So I'm guessing with regards to this how much wrath we're experiencing right now, that on the day of God's wrath and judgment, if we could look at as God's anger, on that day, we will not say he is slow to anger. We'll say, his anger looks just about right. So 3 responses here to this psalm. when we search the greatness of God. Speak with yourself about it, speak with other humans about it, and then speak with God about it, which means worship. That's this worthship. So this it's the end point of the spiritual forensic accountant who goes on a greatness search. And what does he find? He finds that God's greatness is unsearchable. So unsearchable doesn't mean you don't search. It means that when you're done with your search, we stand in awe and say, wow, there's still more greatness to find. So what should I do? Verse 10, all your work shall give thanks to you, O Lord. All your saints shall bless you. They shall speak of the glory of your kingdom and tell of your power, to make known to the children of man your mighty deeds and the glorious splendor of your kingdom. Your kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and your dominion endures throughout all generations. So David here, we're not even done with the psalm yet. You can hear his assessing and searching, and then looking, personal meditating, assessing, assigning the worth to this, and then speaking to yourself, other humans, and God. So Psalm 145 is a search for the greatness of God. Well, then what? What do you do with it? You speak with yourself about it. You speak with other humans about it. And you speak with God about it, which is worship. Go do so today. Think about it. Thanks for listening.